This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Our top story this morning is the latest on Sunday's plane crash near Whidbey Island, north of Seattle. One person is dead, 9 others still missing. We'll have more on the Coast Guard search in just a minute.
And it's a whole new way to use artificial intelligence. This Portland hotel has a robot to ward off crime on its property. Coming up, we're going to get a closer look at how it works. Plus,
I want to imagine that you are back in school.
Okay.
And we're starting the school day with science.
Okay.
Do you guys want to go to biology class or chemistry class? I know some of you are probably saying neither, but we are not accepting that answer this morning. You got to pick one. Today is Labor Day. We're well aware of that, but it's also a no school day for kids, yet we still talk about back to school season here in the Sunrise Show. So to do that, we bring you a back to school edition of Drew and You that is coming up here in 15 minutes. Hopefully all those kids out there are still sleeping this morning. I'm sure a lot of mom and dads are as well, but we're up this morning. Thank you for those who are up as
yes,
well.
Good morning on a Monday. Happy Labor Day, and the weather is just going to be perfect.
Yeah, yesterday, a little toasty, 87. Today, you'll notice it not being as warm. Cameras this time of the morning often are in black and white mode before they shift into color. But here you can tell it's a clear sky over Hood River. Great visibility. That's Mount Hood sticking up from Indian Creek Golf Course. Winds out in the gorge today, west 10 to 20. Folks in Hood River, good morning. You'll be, we think, 83, 84 for high temperature, about the same as Portland. Right now, Portland's partly cloudy, 59. We are expecting to start our day with sunshine. 72 at noon. We'll get up to about 82 for high temperature, which should be really nice, and that's your forecast.
Yeah, it looks perfect. All right, Rod, we'll see you soon. Thanks. Let's get to our top story this morning. Crews continuing to search the waters around Whidbey Island in Washington after a float plane crashed with 10 on board. As of this morning, 1 body has been recovered. The other 9 people are presumed dead. For more on this, let's bring in Devin Haskins with the very latest. Good morning, Devin.
Yeah, good morning, Nina. Throughout the night, U.S. Coast Guard crews continuing the search for the 9 other passengers. One of the passengers was a child. It's not known if the body found was an adult or child. The crash happening just after 3 o'clock Sunday afternoon. It had taken off from Friday Harbor and was headed to Renton when it crashed into Mutiny Bay, that's off Whidbey Island. The plane was owned by Friday Harbor Seaplanes. It's a charter and scenic tour company. The U.S. Coast Guard and multiple agencies launched boats and helicopters immediately to help in the search. Crews Sunday afternoon pulled debris from the plane crash and found 1 body. The rescue effort now being called a recovery mission. Neighbors say they heard a loud boom and saw the plane nosedive into the water.
Our thanks go out to those first few Good Samaritans who were on scene immediately after the incident happened. They were quickly relieved by first responders, but the Coast Guard really needs to send our thanks out to those people who ran towards the sound of danger.
Coast Guard crews from as far as California are joining in the search efforts. They are continuing this morning and will continue as the light becomes more available. It's not known yet, though, what caused the crash or who the 10 people on board were. Drew.
All right, thanks for that update, Devin. We'll continue to bring you the latest on that story on our website. We also have an update this morning on a fire that destroyed 2 food cart pods, or food carts that is, at a food cart pod in North Portland. The fire started yesterday around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, right near the intersection of North Fremont and Vancouver Avenue. Firefighters kept the flames from spreading, but not before they wiped out 2 of those carts. One is Monkey Thai Street Food, the other Pepe Chile Taqueria. The owner of Pepe Chile says the fire not only destroyed his truck, but years of hard work.
Well, it's really hard to open a business. It's not easy to people know you and get a good taco. It was days and hours and no sleep,
I got out in the back at a Thai restaurant in the back there. I saw smoke. I'm the first one saw them. And after I called 911, call the police, call 911.
The food cart owners believe the fire was accidental, but the official cause is still under investigation.
Portland fire officials asking people to be on the lookout for someone who has been setting fires near Mount Tabor Park. They have set between 15 to 20 in the last 2 weeks. It has firefighters worried because the brush is so dry right now. One of those small fires could easily get big. The fires are also getting closer and closer to homes. The majority of them have happened at night. Anyone who spots anything suspicious, call Portland Fire. The number there on your screen, 503 823-3473.
Let's take a look at some other local headlines this morning. We start in Kaiser. Police there say a homeowner shot and killed someone who allegedly broke into their home. So this happened early yesterday morning at a home on Mayfield Place North near the Willamette River. Police haven't provided a lot of details about this other than someone in the home woke up, found the intruder inside. The owner fired a gun, hitting and killing the intruder. Meanwhile, Portland police are investigating a suspected homicide in southeast Portland. Officers arrived at a home in the Lentz neighborhood around 5:45 yesterday morning and found a man dead inside. So far, no word on how exactly that person died and no information yet about any suspects.
Out of nowhere, we hear shots. I look outside, there's a guy, there was a car parked. He was behind the car with his hand over his head, shooting randomly towards Fred Meyer. There was another guy like in the center of Fred Meyer, shooting back.
That is one of the customers who witnessed a shootout right in front of the Wood Village Fred Meyer in the middle of the day, Friday afternoon. Thankfully, no one was hurt. Police did detain one person of interest, but so far they haven't made any arrests. And that's a look at some of this morning's local headlines.
TriMet is getting ready to roll out new articulated buses. Those are the double-length ones that kind of bend in the middle. They're part of the new FX2 Division line that'll move people from downtown Portland to Gresham along Southeast Division. The project has been 6 years in the making. ODOT, Portland, and Gresham worked together to fix Division, adjust traffic signals, and improve the flow of traffic.
It's a growing area, but it's had a lot of challenges because of Division Street. And it's been hard to get where you need to go on public transit because of the traffic.
So hopping on the bus, hopping on FX, if you've been thinking about trying transit, this is going to be a faster, better, higher tier type of transit service from TriMet, and we invite you and welcome you to hop on board.
The service starts September 18th.
All right, time to take a look at Swift Watch 2022. The Swifts are back at Chapman Elementary in Northwest Portland. This is something we see every year this time of the year. So according to the Portland Audubon Society, migrating Swifts often come back to the same spot every year to roost, which also means rest. They're just resting, just hanging out there in Northwest Portland. Chapman Elementary, actually one of the largest roosting sites of migrating Swifts in the entire country. So if you want to check this out, they say you should arrive about 1 hour before sunset. Just last Friday, almost 5,000 Swifts were spotted there.
Yeah, they fly into that kind of old chimney at Chapman Elementary and just kind of sit on the insides of the walls. Yeah, it's very cool to see.
How does the word spread? Hey, this chimney in Portland at Chapman Elementary is a place to be. Let's go.
I think it's a follow the leader kind of thing.
It's like the rest stop on the highway, you know? I don't know, but
Chuck there always seems to know what he's doing. Let's follow Chuck. Chuck's going down the chimney. Let's follow Chuck right down the chimney.
It is fascinating, Mr. Gurney. Here's a look at a pretty quiet country except for the East Coast. We had flooding issues down in Georgia over the weekend, heavy rains with a front nearing the East Coast today. But out west, everybody's pretty much high and dry, literally. We have mostly sunny skies coming today. We're partly cloudy in a few spots. I do want to give you a quick update on air quality. We had at least one advisory for the valley that was up last week. Nothing today. And you can see it's all green. So that's all good air quality up and down I-5. And for the most part, the wind patterns have taken the worst of the wildfire smoke and pushed it over into Idaho, where you can see a lot of the state is in red. That's unhealthy. But for us, the news is pretty good. Just a few moderate dots over along the central Oregon areas of the Cascades this morning. Here's a pretty shot. This is live camera up at Timberline, looking at a little bit of cloudiness down low from the 6,000-foot perch, and the rising sun colors off to the eastern sky. I think it's 6:37, 38, I don't know, something like that. It's sunrise this morning after 6:30. 50 in Bend, 50 up in Astoria. A few spots, including PDX, reporting partly cloudy skies, but no marine layers. So we will be starting off with sunshine. And it's a nice Labor Day, really statewide. Temperatures at the beach on average at least 70. Some spots could be 75, partly to mostly sunny skies. Breezy north winds right along the coast this afternoon. And then here in the valley, just kind of light northwest winds. Temperatures on average will be low 80s, Salem 83 today. Similar numbers up through Battleground 81, Longview 79. So really, as I mentioned, just nice weather. 82 today. Enjoy your Labor Day. Tomorrow we bounce it all the way up to 92, and then we come back into the 80s. But we could bounce up into the 90s again, it looks like on Friday and Saturday. And that is your forecast.
All right, Rod, thank you for that. Here's what's next on Sunrise. DNA, the stuff flowing through our bodies. What do the letters DNA stand for? Why on earth would we make you think about biology the first thing in the morning on a holiday? Well, we're doing this because even though today is Labor Day, we're still in the middle of back to school season. So we're going to put on our thinking caps and we're going to head back to class for this back to school edition of Drew and You that is coming up right after this.